All right, everybody, come on in. Come on in. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I make food and femininity content, and on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, I come on here with you all and I show you a recipe that maybe will be a little bit of inspiration. I'm your substitute teacher because I cook with sugar substitutes, dairy substitutes, and gluten substitutes. I love to eat clearly, but some of us have to make some different choices. So just want to be some inspiration for you all. We're going to make a high protein queso dip. All right, I saw this recipe come up on my feed and I said, let's give it a try. Have I ever made this before? No. Why would I do that? Has that ever stopped us? No. All right, so I'm going to show you all the video that came up in my feed from a kid's chef. We love the family over here. Make sure you all are tapping and subscribe to FoodtokTV. Thank you, Katie, for the hearts. We are at 4 likes. Let's see if we can get to double digits. Let's see if we can get to 10. I'm going to clean off the counter here, wash my hands, then I'm going to show you all the recipe we're going to be recreating. And it has I won't say a secret ingredient, but it's got an ingredient that has been going I won't say a secret ingredient, but it's got an ingredient that has been going kind of viral everywhere. And shout out like nachos. If you like Latin inspired cuisine, today is your day. Let me know, are you team queso or are you team guac? All right, so you all that eat Latin inspired food, which is my favorite cuisine, do you want queso or do you want guacamole or do you want both? Some of us are team greedy and we want everything. All right, so let's see what we can do here. And we'll make some chips and dip. This is inspired because Marcus, our oldest, went to the store and bought some jarred spinach dip. I think it was whatever it is. And he said it was not good. I was like, all right. Store and bought some jarred spinach dip. I think it was whatever it is. And he said it was not good. I was like, all right, let's see if I can make this for you. But he said, I don't want spinach dip. I want chorizo. So I got some chorizo. That's what we're going to try and do. All right, let me clean my hands. And as always, the recipe is going to be on foodtoktv.com. You can get my recipes and all the other recipes you see. FoodtokTV has daily cooking content live every day of the week, and you can find cooking creators that make some kind of everything, all right? So let me show you all what we're making today, then we're going to get our ingredients out and we're going to get started, all right?
I've lost 40 pounds as a 14-year-old. Let me show you how to make some high-protein queso. I love using cottage cheese because it keeps me full, it tastes good, and you can do so many things with it. Like now, we're gonna make queso with it. I'm shredding my own cheese because I just found out that pre-shredded cheese has a bunch of unnecessary starches that we do not need. For my seasoning, I'm gonna use a chorizo packet from Siete, and it tastes so good. Okay, now I'm gonna blend it until it's nice and creamy. I'm so excited. Queso is probably one of my favorite things ever. You guys could leave your queso as is. I like some ground beef for extra protein and that flavor. I love ground beef so much. It's nice and crispy, so let's go ahead and throw it in. Okay, now I'm just gonna mix, and then I'm gonna top it off with some tomatoes. For our dippers, we have some bell peppers, which are low carb. So we're gonna do bell pepper first.
Almost 700 likes. Thanks, everyone.
I need another bite. I'm sorry.
Did y'all hear that crunch?
You would never know it's made of cottage cheese. Holy cow. I've lost
All
40
right,
pounds
so we're gonna try and recreate this high protein queso, and the secret ingredient is cottage cheese. So I see you all here. We have Lavisa says, thank you for the badges. Marie says your team queso. Katie says your team both. I know, let me turn on my Struggle air conditioning. I am team everything, all right, everybody? So let me pull up the recipe. For this recipe, you're gonna need a blender. And the ingredients, we're going to go through them very slowly because I am not a professional and that will be painfully obvious very soon. But we have fun here. You need a blender, and then you can make this. It's not vegan because it's got dairy, right? Right. You could make this vegetarian if you wanted to and just leave the queso smooth. I like a chunky queso. We're going to put some veggies in it, and Marcus asked for a chorizo queso, so we're going to make the queso, and then we're also going to cook some chorizo and add them together. But you could use any protein of choice. You could do ground beef. How much? We are at 12. cheese. You're not alone. I think. Okay, so we are going to us still taste like cottage cheese. I like the cottage cheese. You all know like the breakstones, the one that has like the dip, the pineapple dip, but it's loaded with sugar. And if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, you need to avoid that. All right. So we are going to make this high protein queso. So let's go through the ingredients. You need a cup of cottage cheese, your choice of cottage cheese. You can do full fat, you could do low fat, but since I'm your substitute teacher, I have a substitute for you. All right. So I ordered this from Ingles. So this is Lactaid cottage cheese. Did you all know that Lactaid makes cottage cheese? So if you have a sensitivity to dairy, and I am not a doctor, do not listen to me, but if you have a sensitivity to dairy, I believe it's the milk sugar that a lot of people cannot process well. So Lactaid, and none of this is sponsored, y'all. I'm just sharing what I know. It's not necessarily dairy free, but it is lactose free. All right, so this is the lactose free cottage cheese. So this is the one that we're going to use. Hello, Mr. Crown Royal is here. I just came back from Texas. We had all of the FoodtokTV creators in the big old McMansion. Good to see everybody. Yes, Marie says you didn't know that. Yeah, absolutely. So this is what I'm using. I am on the hunt for a cottage cheese that I have not found. I'm in Atlanta, so we don't have this cottage cheese here, but if somebody wants to Google and search for me, apparently there is a cottage cheese that is made from buffalo milk. I know it sounds crazy, buffalo milk. So I can have, when I say I'm dairy free, I have to avoid cow dairy. I can have goat's milk products, sheep's milk products, and occasionally buffalo milk. And apparently somewhere up north, there is a buffalo milk cottage cheese. And if somebody could find it and let me know what store it is, inbox me, I will order it. I know buffalo milk, interesting, right? So this is what we're going to use, and you need 1 cup of cottage cheese. So this is what we're going to use. You also need a 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese, or she says any cheese that will melt, like a cheddar cheese or a Monterey Jack. So I got a couple substitutes for y'all. Let me show you. Okay, so I ordered this. This is just a blend of cheddar and Monterey Jack. However, if you all heard on the video, it is true. When you buy cheese that is already shredded, it's not the end of the world. I am not the food police. Do what works for you. But when you buy cheese that's already shredded, they put extra ingredients in it so that those little shreds don't clump up. So if you're trying to eat really clean, if you're trying to avoid those extra powders and starches, they always say it's best to shred your own cheese. Tastes a little bit more work, but I think we'll do that. So you can use cheddar cheese, you can use Monterey Jack, any good melting cheese, all right? So the more milk, the more it's gonna melt. Your drier cheeses like your Parmesan, probably not for this one. But again, because I'm your substitute teacher, this is what I'm gonna use, you all. This is my goat's milk cheddar. This one is from Bella Capra. I think I got this from Whole Foods, but I love showing you all different ingredients. If you're sensitive to dairy, goat's milk cheese might be an option for you. You can check some stores. It's not going to be in the dairy section in the back, like where the Velveeta is, which is not cheese, and we know that. But it's going to be up in the front towards the deli, right? So where your boar's head is. So we will shred some of this goat's milk cheese. So we're going to use a lactose-free cottage cheese as our substitute. This goat's milk cheese, so we're going to use a lactose-free cottage cheese as our substitute, and we're going to use a cow dairy-free goat's milk cheese for our substitute. All right, so we need just a 1/2 cup of that, so not too much, so we can shred by hand. And then you need taco seasoning. You can use taco seasoning or any seasoning that you like. I do have some taco seasoning. I think I just got it from the Dollar Tree. Hello, Forged is here. Thank you, Katie, for the badges, y'all. We are at 2,600 likes, 2,700 likes. Let's see if we can get to 3,000. And you all say paneer is an Indian cottage cheese made with buffalo milk. I have had paneer and I love Indian food, but I thought paneer was cow's milk. So somebody correct me. But basically, if you're on this, health and weight loss journey like I am, I like to say we don't know what we like what we know. So a big part of my journey, because I want my food to taste good. If I'm gonna eat it, I need to enjoy it. So, well, I don't need to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. Tell the truth, Maggie. But sometimes we don't know about these other ingredients that are out there that could make your food really yummy and, you know, not cause you inflammation or weight gain or anything like that. Thank you so much for the badges, you all. I appreciate it. We're at 3,400 likes. Let's see if we can get to 3,500. Okay, so for the seasoning for this queso, we need taco seasoning. So let me get what I have. All right. So I think this just came from the Dollar Tree. So if you have taco seasoning packets out, you could rip open one of those. Hello, Jack. Thank you for the compliment. So we just have this, or you can make your own taco seasoning. It's not hard. Have I ever done it? No. But if you want to know what's in here, you can absolutely make your own taco seasoning. It's not hard. Have I ever done it? No. But if you want to know what's in here, you can absolutely make your own salt, pepper, sugar, not much, but sugar, oregano, cumin, and some MSG. So do a season, calories, especially if you're eating lighter. The key is to make sure that it tastes really good. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. We're over 4,000. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I make food and femininity content. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. Thank you, Mama T, for the vote. You all are so generous. Thank you. And Jack, thank you for the compliment. Okay, so far we have cottage cheese. So far we have cheddar cheese. So far we have cottage cheese. So far we have cheddar cheese. And so far we have taco seasoning. And then so next we need salsa or diced tomatoes. I have both. I'll give you guys your options. All right. So again, for this queso, we're going to either put a little bit of tomatoes on top, or you could puree some salsa in it. I'm here for the tomatoes. So I just have some chunky salsa because we like it chunky. Or she said you could use diced tomatoes with green chilies like Rotel. I think this red gold I also got from the Dollar Tree. So some really basic ingredients here. So we have some options here. I like salsa, but you all can tell me what you think. All right, let's see. And then that's it for the queso. And then all we need to do is blend it. I want to heat it though, but I guess the warm from the meat will heat it up, right? Okay. So for meat, she used ground beef, and that's totally fine. We can use ground beef. But I did get chorizo because Marcus requested chorizo. Hello, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here. So I just ordered this one, and you can get all kinds of different chorizo. This one is pork chorizo. And funnily enough, I saw something that said gluten-free. And here's the thing about gluten. And again, I am not the food police, but a lot of times they put gluten in foods that it doesn't naturally come in. And so you may not be really sensitive to it, but you're just consuming so much. They put it in ice cream, they put it in gum. It just gives you that nice mouthfeel. But this is what we're going to use. All right. So I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and start cooking the chorizo. And then I think I want to show you all how to make some nachos. And then we're going to make the queso last because literally we're just going to put everything in the blender and then we'll add the hot ingredients to it. All right. How about that? Everybody good? Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. We're at 4,400 likes. Let's see if we can get to 4,500. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and we are making a high protein queso. So maybe this is a little bit guilt-free. All right, so let's go ahead and get our meat cooking. If you're doing taco meat, you could just do ground beef or you could do ground turkey. Let me get the cooktop for y'all. And I'm gonna show you a little hack for some gluten-free tortilla chips. Love those. Who likes chips and salsa? Don't threaten me with a good time. All right, so let's get a skillet. And since this chorizo already has all the spices and everything in it, we're just gonna snip off the end, squeeze it into the pan, and let it just start to warm up. And yeah, that's it. Be out of the way. All right, come on in, everybody. We're at 4,500 likes. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie, and we are making a protein queso. All right, so if you've been cutting back on your chips and dip maybe this will be something that you can enjoy without the guilt. Let's get a skillet. All right. So I'm just going to get some scissors and we're just going to cut this open. You can get beef, you can get chicken, you can get turkey. Have it your way, Burger King. Do whatever works for you. Hello, Patricia Guzman. Thank you so much for being here. We are at 4,700 likes. Let's see if we can get to 5,000. I appreciate you all so much. Make sure you're subscribed to FoodtokTV. Make sure you tap and share, and make sure you go to FoodtokTV.com for all of the recipes. All right. So let's go ahead and get this warmed up. So I'm going to put this on like a medium low and cut it over the sink. You know, I'm just nervous about having like an explosion. Who wants to do that? All right. Marcus requested chorizo. How would you all describe chorizo? I made the mistake one time of calling it sausage and I was told it is not sausage. I was like, all right. But you can use any protein of your choice, or if you want to make it vegetarian, you do not have to have meat in your queso. But since this is supposed to be a high protein queso, we're going to have protein from the cottage cheese as well as protein from the meat. All right. So we're just going to squeeze that out and we're going to let it, it smells so good. We're going to let it just start to warm up. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to show you all really quickly how I used to do nachos. You can absolutely make your own. Let me show you all a couple substitutes. All right. Thank you, Lavisa, for the badges. I'll keep this down so y'all can see. Thank you for the badges. Thank you, every substitutes. All right. Thank you, Lavisa, for the badges. I'll keep this down so y'all can see. Thank you for the badges. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. Hello, Mama T's. We're at 5,500 likes. Let's see if we can get to being here. Hello. All right, everybody, we are making chips and queso today. We are going to be making, all right, everybody, we are making chips and queso today. We are going to be making a high protein queso. Just hopped in, I'll show you the video. And this is what we're making.
Make some high protein queso. I love using cottage cheese because it keeps me full, it tastes good, and you can do so many things with it. Like now, we're gonna make queso with it. I'm shredding my own cheese because I just found out that pre-shredded cheese has a bunch of unnecessary starches that we do not need. For my seasoning, I'm gonna use a chorizo packet from Fiesta, and it tastes so good. Okay, now I'm gonna blend it and process it. I'm so excited. Queso is probably one of my favorite things ever. You guys could leave your queso as is. I like some ground beef for extra protein and flavor. I love ground beef so much. Nice and crispy, so it's gonna go in.
All right, so
I'm just gonna mix, and then I'm gonna top it off with some tomatoes. For our dippers, we have some bell peppers, which are a little carb. So we're gonna do bell pepper first.
Thank you, Bria, for the badges. All right, y'all. Our chorizo is coming alive, so I want to give
carb. So we're gonna do bell pepper first.
Thank you, Bria, for the badges. All right, y'all. Our chorizo is coming alive, so I want to do its thing. I see you all like the Mexican. Katie likes the Mexican and Spanish chorizo. They taste different. Spanish chorizo, they taste different. Let me know what I'd love to know. All right. So you could leave this out, or you could use taco meat. Again, this is a great way to, if you have leftover taco meat, like if you don't like cooking every day, if you want to reconstitute some leftovers, you could make this queso and then use your taco seasoned meat inside the queso for extra protein. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so I'm just gonna let this do its thing and just kind of let it simmer on low. We will add this to our queso. All right, we're gonna add this to our queso. All right, let me make sure y'all can see. Oh. And Ash said it's lagging a little bit, so let me know. I don't want to touch it. Let me know if you all can hear and see. Okay, so we're going to do the queso last. So I want to give you all a couple of substitutes for nachos. If you can have the Tostitos or whatever they are, have some for me. If you need a gluten-free substitute, I got a couple suggestions for you. Thank you, Connor. So this is cauliflower chips. I can have these on my plan. So instead of made with flour, they're made from vegetables. And I'll go ahead and open one and give you the crunch. So good. But from the ground up, they make pretzel sticks, pretzels, and cauliflower chips. So if you need to avoid wheat, thank you, Bria. All right. So you all can see they look just like tortilla chips, and literally a little bit earthy, like a little bit more substance, but of course we gotta quality test the chorizo. You need to find them. I'll put it up so you can get a screenshot. If you need nachos, they hold up the weight pretty well. If you have like loaded nachos, put some eggs in there. So the brand is from the ground up. And I don't know if this came from Kroger or wherever, okay? So this is an option, or I'll show y'all how to make some. Really simple. That heated up faster than I thought. That's why I need to stop snacking. Okay, so if you don't have nachos and you don't have, a good substitute, what you can do, any tortillas. I'll give you guys another one. I think I get these from Walmart. So this is La Tortilla, but you can see this is a grain-free and it's made with cassava flour. So again, another gluten-free option. I love these because they're nice and bendable. I'll be very honest with you. Some of the low carb or some of the grain-free tortillas are very brittle. So I'm gonna show you, we're gonna open this up. If you like your breakfast wraps, I'll put some scrambled eggs in that and make a breakfast burrito. They're a little bit delicate, but I think they do really well. So this is a gluten-free tortilla. You can use this for a quesadilla. You can use it as a tortilla. You can see here, and it's nice and soft on its own. All right, all you have to do, we're gonna cut it up, and I'm gonna put it in the air fryer. It's optional. You can oil it a little bit. I'll probably do a little bit of spray, and then you just put it in the air fryer. I don't know, my mom says cook with your senses. So maybe like 5-7 minutes until it gets kind of crispy. And this is an easy way to make nachos. All right, so let me just get the cutting board and we will cut it up. Hello, Jenny is here. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. We're at 7,000 likes already. Thank you all so much. Come on in. All right. So really simple. We're gonna take our tortilla, and it doesn't have to be a gluten-free tortilla. If you're out of chips, this is how you can make them easy. So all we're gonna do, you can grease it up. You can put a little bit of, sometimes I just put a little oil in my hand. Or cooking spray in a pinch. The optional. But what I like to do, if you really wanna save some calories, just omit this step. Put just a little bit of oil in my hand and I just get in here and grease it up. Hello, alter ego. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so I just kind of got it greased up. You can see it's a little bit shiny. And then if you wanted to sprinkle it with some salt, you could, or whatever seasonings. I think I have like a chili lime seasoning. Hold up, I just got an idea. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I have cilantro. Okay, yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I have cilantro. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Let's do the same taco seasoning that we're gonna put in our queso. All right, so I just have some dollar store taco seasoning, or you could just do salt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it lightly. When you oil it or spray it, that'll help the seasoning to kind of stick. But if you're using a dip that has a lot of flavor, you can omit that. All right, so you can get the pizza cutter, you can get a knife, If you have the kids in the kitchen, this is a good step for them. Just use the pizza cutter. Katie says you make your own corn tortillas. They're gluten-free. Absolutely. Yes. So we're just going to cut it in half, and I just keep cutting it in half. And the key is you want to cut it in half before you put it in the air fryer, all right? Because once you put it in there, if you're doing like a before you put it in the air fryer, all right? Because once you put it in there, if you're doing like we've done sopapillas before or like a tostada, then you can leave it whole. So we just cut it in half. Right now it's in quarters, and then we're going to go back through it again, all right? So I'm just going to go diagonally. And this is a great way you can use one tortilla to get, what is it, like, so I'm just going to go diagonally. And this is a great way you can use one tortilla to get, what is it, like 8 chips. So that could be a snack, or that could be a meal for you. How I do is I'm going to put them on the air fryer rack. And the air fryer is an oven. I'm going to put them on the air fryer rack. And the air fryer is an oven with a fan. So you want to make sure that you cover it up, because what'll happen is your tortilla chips will fly all around the air fryer, and your tortilla chips will fly all around the air fryer, and then they'll be looking like that, all right? Not the end of the world, but I'm just going to put them here. And if you want them a little bit, I'll give them a little spray. Completely optional. I'll give them a little spray. Completely optional. Completely optional. But just all the way to make. If you want completely carb, you could dip in veggies. All right, we're going to put the other air fryer rack on top here, and I'm going to put this in the air fryer. And I never set the timer. Hopefully we don't burn them. I'm doing 400. Let's give it about 5 minutes or so, but I want to go ahead and get started on the queso because our chorizo is done. It's nice and bubbling, all right? You could customize your queso however you like it. If you're doing, y'all know I love the assembly meals, especially for the family, where everybody can make their own. This could be part of like a nacho bar or anything like that. All right. So let us get started. Let's get it started. You need a blender. All right, so I'm gonna get my struggle food processor. All right, so we have our blender here. Oh, the connection is bad? Let me know. We're at 8,200 likes, so something is happening. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and today we are making a high protein queso. All right, so we need, for this recipe, I think it was 1 cup of cottage cheese, and I'm using a lactose-free cottage cheese. Lactaid actually makes cottage cheese. So we're gonna measure a cup of this. Everything's gonna go in the blender. So we're just gonna scoop it out, and we're gonna get a cup of cottage cheese. So many different cottage cheese recipes, great protein. If you don't like eating cottage cheese, I know it's, some people can eat it straight. Some of us like to add other toppings to it. It might be, those of you all who don't like it, do you not like it because of the taste, or you don't like it because of the texture? Because I know those curdles, at first you might be like, what in the world is that about? All right, so let's get a cup of cottage cheese. All right, so this is gonna go into the food processor or blender. Use whatever you want. And of course I'm gonna taste it for research purposes. It's been a while. It was like one of those healthy snacks that you're like, I don't want to eat it. Let's see how we like it plain. Are you eating it or no? I like it now. It's a little bit salty, a little bit sweet. Give it a try. Maybe your palate has changed. Okay, so 1 cup of cottage cheese, and then we need a 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. If you're short on time, get the one that's already shredded. But I'm gonna try and be good for y'all. I have my goat's milk cheese, so we'll keep it dairy free. And we're gonna shred this in here. But I guess I need to measure a 1/2 cup. All right, let's do that. I just want to eyeball it. When you actually hold up. So this is 6 ounces, so half is 3 ounces. I know it's not exact, but let's see. I'm just gonna cut this in half, and this one is goat's milk cheddar. You can get goat's milk, all kinds, but this is goat's milk cheddar. Something about the proteins in cow's milk my body doesn't really tolerate well. Maybe yours does, but just use regular cheddar cheese or any melting cheese. How are our chips doing? They're looking pretty good. All right, so we need a half a cup. So I'm just gonna shred this on the cutting board, and then we're gonna scoop up a half a cup. Not your favorite, but you'll eat it. I know, sometimes we do what we have to do. We're at 9,500 likes. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and today we are making a high protein queso. Let's see if we can get to 10,000 likes. Let's get our shredder, or grater, whatever this thing is called. We're gonna measure out a half a cup, and we're gonna add it to the cottage cheese. I love this goat's milk cheese. It's been great for me. It's probably going to be just a quarter, half of this block. But however you would use this goat's milk cheese, it's been great for me. It's probably going to be just a quarter, half of this block. But however you would use cheese. Now I will say the goat's milk cheese is a little bit drier. Not all the way dry like mustard queen in the house. Not all the way dry like a Parmesan, but it's not as like ooey gooey and oily as like a cow's milk cheese. All right, so we have our goat's milk cheddar. So we just shredded that. I'm gonna measure out a half a cup or more. All right, we got a little bit more than a half a cup, but you'll be all right. So we have this much. So 1 cup of cottage cheese, add to that a half cup of, my queso is looking like, I'm not gonna lie, goat's milk cheese has got a little funk right here. It's a little bit of an acquired taste, but I like it now. It's kind of a sophisticated cheese, you know, like a wine and cheese or charcuterie cheese. It's like that. All right, so it's really just 3 ingredients: cottage cheese, 1 cup, cheddar cheese, half cup, and then it says a teaspoon of taco seasoning. So that's easy, we can do that. You can make your own. And if you just came in, we got our chorizo over here on the side bubbling, waiting to add to the queso, and we're making some struggle chips. Let's see how these are coming along. They're starting to brown on some struggle chips. Let's see how these are coming along. They're starting to brown on the tips. All right, they're starting to brown on the tips. So let's add our taco seasoning, and this is just some dollar store taco seasoning. Let's get a teaspoon. You could do extra if you wanted it more taco-y, if that's a word. But the first time I make a recipe, I try to follow their instructions. Maybe I'll try a little bit. You got me curious now. So we got a half teaspoon of taco. Maybe I'll try a little bit. You got me curious now. So we got a half teaspoon of taco seasoning. Go ahead and try anything, almost. All right, so we have some black pepper, just a little bite to see. What is that about? Cottage cheese with pepper. But, you know, we're all different. So let's put a little pepper in here. Hopefully I didn't do too much. Watch me choke. All right, Katie, it's on you. We're at 10,000 likes. Thank you, everybody. Come on in. Welcome to Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I make food and femininity content. We got to go check on our chips. Not too much, but it just gives it a little warmth. I like it. Okay. Let's get these chips out, because I'm over here struggling. Oh yeah. We're good. I'm struggling. Oh yeah. We're good. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to show you all. We do our own struggle nachos. All right? So we just had a tortilla, greased it up a little bit, seasoned it up a little bit, salt, pepper, or taco seasoning, cut it into triangles, put it in the air fryer. It's been what, like 5 or 7 minutes? But I'm going to show you. I was just looking for color. You can do this for your nachos. You can do this for this queso we're making. You can do whatever you like. All right, so we've got cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, taco seasoning, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons of salsa. Absolutely. All right, so very careful. I might have left them in a second too long. I'm okay with it. Woo, they're actually kind of, y'all see? We made our own. Hot! Hot! Ooh! But it's good. I put the taco seasoning on that. Let's try it with the chorizo. I know. Let's just give it a little try. So you can buy your own or you can make your own. Why is it hot and I am so greedy? A little done, but it tastes good. All right? So make your own or buy your own. So store-bought, Maggie made. All right, so you can see they both work. All right, focus. We have our meat. That's ready. Directions: put the cottage cheese in a blender and blend until completely smooth or creamy. Who didn't do that? Who didn't read the instructions? This step is key. Then you put in, okay, y'all, I've totally messed this up. We're just gonna blend it all. We're just gonna blend it all. Let's watch. 1 second, y'all. Let's see what she does, because I'm over here messing it up, but we're gonna be all right.
Trying the sick. I was 40 pounds as a 14-year-old. Let me show you how to make some high protein queso. I love using cottage cheese because it keeps me full, it tastes good, and you can do so many things with it. Like now, we're gonna make queso with it. I'm shredding my own cheese because I just found out that pre-shredded cheese has a bunch of unnecessary starches that we do not need. For my seasoning, I'm gonna use a chorizo packet from Siete, and it tastes so good. Okay, now I'm gonna blend it.
Oh, we're good. So you can blend it separately or not. Y'all, I was panicking over here. Let's just blend this stuff and be done. All right, so we're gonna put the top on this. Blend it up. Let me turn off the chorizo's been over here bubbling. So whatever meat you like, you can put that in after. Over here doing the most, always struggling. I know it's still yummy. Hey, we're still gonna eat it. Y'all would eat this. I'm telling you, y'all would still eat this. Okay, so we're gonna blend and see what happens. We should be able to get some color from that taco seasoning. All right, let's see. All right, I'm looking at the color of hers, but I think her taco seasoning had a lot more, maybe paprika in it. So mine is, I'm gonna give it a taste and I'll scrape down the sides. Mine is still kind of pasty white, and you could add a little bit. So mine is, I'm gonna give it a taste and I'll scrape down the sides. Mine is still kind of pasty white, and you could add a little bit of chorizo to it. Will make it hot and probably a little bit, how do you say? Creamier. All right, so this is what we have. Let's see. Wow. Wow. It is very good. I don't have to worry about salt. I do have to worry about sugar. The cottage cheese is kind of salty. We got Kaz in here. Shout out to Kaz. Thank you for the roses. The goat's milk cheddar is salty. And then we added 1 teaspoon of the taco seasoning. I probably would have done a half a teaspoon and then taste it and then see if you need a whole. But so far, I'm liking it. If you like really savory, it's yummy. Okay, so I think we're good. I think, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna just put it in the skillet and warm it up with the chorizo. And then we'll top it. You could put the salsa. I'm trying to think, y'all, we're winging it. We are winging it. Come on in, everybody. Welcome to another struggle cooking class. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher. Marcus requested a chorizo queso, so that's what we're making. So I just had some chorizo here that I just turned off. I'm gonna turn it back down on low, and then I'm gonna put our queso in here, stir it up, put it in a bowl. I have some fresh cilantro, like I wanna garnish it. We have our nachos. I would thin this out because you can see it's not pouring on its own, but I'm thinking when I add it to the chorizo, it'll smooth out a little bit. But if you like it chunky, all of this here. I don't know what's in regular queso. Isn't it like heavy cream? But I don't know how much protein is in there. So this way, using cottage cheese as that swap, and we use the this way, using cottage cheese as that swap, and we use the lactate cottage cheese. So hopefully this will be gentler on your tummies and handle cow dairy. Okay, so our what is this? Our chorizo is percolating. If you don't like chorizo, you can use taco meat or anything you like. All right. Woo! It smells so good. You've got like the creaminess of the queso, and then you've got the like the spiciness of the chorizo. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Woo! I'm so excited. We might stop just at this. But let's stir it up, stir it up. Let's stir it up and see if we can get like a smoother looking queso. But yeah, if you're having Tuesday taco night, Taco Tuesdays, whatever it is, this could be a good substitute for you. Come on in, everybody. We're at 10,900 likes. Let's see if we can get to 11,000. This is Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I am Maggie the Substitute Teacher. We are making a high protein queso dip. Marcus went to the store like teenagers do and was hungry and bought some chips and the Tostitos, and he came home. It was like some spinach dip, and he tore into it, and he was like, that's not good. And so, you know, when you're used to eating real ingredients, I mean, I am not the food police. Do whatever you want to do. But, you know, sometimes, has that ever happened to you all where you have a craving for something, or you see something out, or maybe a fast food billboard, and you get it, and then you're like, that wasn't good at all. Why did I do that? All right. So I think it's combining nicely. I'm going to give it a taste, and then we'll put a little salsa in it because I'll put a little salsa in it, but I want to taste it now, and then I want some cilantro on top. I'm just getting all of the cottage cheese mixed in there. If you're sensitive to salt, I would probably go very light on the taco seasoning or omit it. All right, so our cauldron is bubbling. Hello, Melissa's here. Hello, everybody. Let's give this a taste. Hopefully I don't hurt myself. All right, so let's get a fresh chip. And we're gonna taste it. So far, this is just the chorizo and the cottage cheese, and then we'll put some salsa in there. It is lava hot, so I don't wanna hurt myself, but I'm greedy and I want it, and it's good. Thank you all so much. We're at 11,800 likes. Let's see if we can get to 12,000. Oh! Okay now. Y'all, this is good. This is good. All right. Whoa, almost knocked that over. All right, I'm just gonna keep it moving because you know what happened? Cheese will start to solidify. So I'm just gonna keep it kind of bubbling. The recipe calls for a couple tablespoons. I'm gonna do 2 of salsa, or you can do tomatoes with chilies. I'm gonna go with some salsa. Maybe we'll do the tomatoes with chilies on top. Let's get a couple tablespoons. At this point, you can make it however you like, but I'm just gonna go in here and add some salsa to it. That'll kind of calm it down, especially if you have like a spicy chorizo. This was just a regular. You can't even really see it. I think I'm gonna open up the can of tomatoes and chilies. I'm gonna pour this in a bowl. Let's see how we wanna present this. We'll do some cilantro. I don't know if that's authentic. It is today. Have it your way. Have it your way, Burger King. I love cilantro. I'll put it on anything. All right. So just keeping it moving. I'm gonna start moving things around. I'm gonna chop a little bit of cilantro. We're gonna pour it in a bowl. We're gonna garnish with a little bit of cilantro and then put a little bit of the, what's it called? The tomatoes on top. So I just wanna leave it on just a little bit. I need to taste it again since we added tomato. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. All right, let's get it. Added tomato. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. All right, let's get in there. Greedy. Come on in, everybody. Hello. We can get to 12,500. Foodie Fridays with Maggie. I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. We are making a high protein queso with chorizo, or you could use ground beef and cottage cheese. Oh yeah. It's really good. I didn't know what to expect. I just come on here with y'all. Stuff that comes across my my page, and I said, ooh, let's make that. All right. Cilantro and tomatoes, and we're good. All right. So I placed an order. Got to have a little bit more color. So I'm just going to move this out of the way for a second and just chop up some cilantro as a garnish. If you like it spicy, add jalapenos. I'm just keeping it moving because you know cheese will kind of get that skin on it, but we pureed it in the food processor and it came out really nice. I love this stuff. I'll put it on everything. So we have some, it just smells like the earth. Some of y'all love it, some of y'all don't, but it's okay. And then rinse this part off. They say if you rinse all of it and you don't use it, it'll spoil faster. But we're gonna chop it all up, do a little bit of food prep later for my shake and go salads. So let me just give this a nice little chop. This is way more than we need, but I wanna get a nice picture that'll go up on FoodtokTV. So again, if you just need, but I wanna get a nice picture that'll go up on FoodtokTV. So again, if you're just coming in, this is a 3-ingredient high protein. Let me put the paper towel underneath for safety. 3-ingredient high protein queso. 1 cup of cottage cheese. We use the lactose-free cottage cheese. If you could have the regular, have some for me. Some people can digest it well, some people can't. And then a 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. You can use the one that's already in the bag, or if you can't. And then a 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. You can use the one that's already in the bag, or if you want. And then a teaspoon, of taco seasoning. Go light on that, because it does get kind of salty. I don't mind it, but go light on that. All right, we've got some cilantro here. And then let me open up the tomatoes and chilies. This could be Rotel, or this is what I got from the Dollar Tree. All right. Rotel, or this is what I got from the Dollar Tree. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, let's get this open, and then we're gonna. So let me start moving in the center. I got a nice little bowl here. Let me get a platter for some chips. Thank you so much, Late Night with the hearts. I appreciate it. We're at 12,400. Let's see if we can get 12,500. Thank you all so much. Let's see. We'll just do. All right. We'll just do a little bowl. We'll do some homemade chips and some store-bought chips or veggies, whatever works for you. So if you're just coming on, we made our own struggle tortilla chips, but they're nice and seasoned well. So I'll put these here, and you just want to make sure that you keep them kind of separate. And then we'll put the store-bought chips. Again, these are made from cauliflower from the ground up. So if you need to avoid gluten or you want to be a little bit, you know, lower carb, that's an option for you. And then we're going to put our chorizo. Let me just turn it up just a little bit. Stir it one more time. I want it a little bit hot so it'll pour really smooth, all right? And then we'll garnish it and take a taste and a picture. Oh, our tomatoes. You could put this inside your chorizo if you wanted to like calm it down or cool it down. Cool it now. I know that's a different song. All right, so this is looking good. Woo! It's bubbling. All right, let me make a space so everybody can see. All right, so I have a big old bowl. All right, so I'm going to pour this. All right, take it off. Just give it a one more stir. It kind of looks like a really thick tomato soup. If you have done ground beef, it would be a little bit cheesier, but I am fine with the cilantro. All right, we got a little bit of a splatter, so I'm just gonna clean that because we eat with our eyes first. Then I'm gonna go in with some cilantro. Optional, if you hate it, don't use it. But I just love the contrast in colors. And then I'm gonna get a little spoon, slotted spoon, for the tomatoes. If you have regular diced tomatoes, you could use that too. Just gonna get some of the juice off. Put that in the middle. Let me take a picture before it sinks in there. Push my cilantro down. Where's my tablet? Okay, it's gotta be, it's playing. It's right here. All right, let's take, heavy. Let's take a quick picture. So we have our chorizo and queso dip, looking like a little Disney character with the ears. Oh, I got some cilantro on that. Let's just cover it up. Oh, I got some cilantro on that. Let's just cover it up. All right, let's take a picture with our homemade chips, and then you know we're gonna taste it. So this was cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, taco seasoning, blended, and then just a little salsa in there and some cilantro. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, cottage cheese, cheddar cheese, taco seasoning. We've got cauliflower chips, and we've got homemade cassava tortilla chips. Let's give this a seasoning. We've got cauliflower chips, and we've got homemade cassava tortilla chips. Let's give this a taste. This was lactate cottage cheese. Get some of those tomatoes in there. So I'm recording that. All right, so let's give it a try. Y'all love the cilantro. Let's give it a try. It looks delicious. Come on now. Y'all. That is good. If you want heat, add a little bit of jalapeno. Let's try the struggle Maggie chips that we made. Of course, we're not going to double dip. I teach etiquette classes, all right? If this is a, let's try the struggle Maggie chips that we made. Of course, we're not going to double dip. I teach etiquette classes, all right? If this is a shared container to serve the queso that you want and eat out of that. But since y'all are there and I'm over here, we're at 12,900. Let's see if we can get to 13,000. So we have, and you can see it's pretty thick. Uh-oh, my little struggle chip is faltering underneath the weight. But your homemade chips hold up pretty well. Y'all, I'm gonna put the rest of the cilantro in here. Marcus and I love it. I put that on everything. And then I probably want to put, see, look at me, greedy. Probably want to put some extra tomato on there. Y'all want some sour cream? You want everything looks good? Mama! Mama! Okay. That is so good. I'm going to give it a 9.5. So good. The only thing, it is a little bit salty. I don't mind it, but I would just say per the recipe, it's very salty, and probably because I'm using chorizo. The recipe called for ground beef, so ground beef probably isn't as much. You don't need it. But yeah, we made this. Y'all, I'm gonna have to pack this up. I can't. I'm gonna give this to Marcus tomorrow. He's graduating. All right, so a couple announcements as I take. We made this. Y'all, I'm gonna have to pack this up. I can't. I'm gonna give this to Marcus tomorrow. He's graduating. All right, so a couple announcements as I take one more greedy bite. I should have given you some over here, greedy. I didn't give y'all any. There you go. The crunch of the chip, the savoriness of the cheese, and because our chorizo kind of cooked down, we didn't blend it, but it's not chunky like ground beef. If you want it, oh, you like the chips? Thank you, late night. It's not chunky like, if you had ground beef in there, it would give you more of a chew. This is really giving more like a queso dip. And if you don't like this color, just omit the chorizo or use ground beef. Y'all see I'm still over here eating it. Lord mercy. All right. So, again, to wrap up, we made a struggle homemade queso. Our secret ingredient was cottage cheese. So if you want a high protein option, put this on your burritos, put it on your nachos. So what we did, 1 cup of cottage cheese, and we used the lactate cottage cheese to keep it, I can't say it's dairy free because it is cow milk, but it doesn't have the milk sugar that upsets a lot of people. So lactate does make cottage cheese. This came from Ingles, so you can check your grocery store. And then we used, the next ingredient is a 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. And I did make it dairy free. I used goat's milk cheddar cheese. This is goat cheddar. But if you want, you can use the regular cheddar or Monterey Jack. Any of the cheeses, that's a good melting cheese. All right, that's what you want. A teaspoon of taco seasoning, optional. And then whatever protein you like. It can be ground beef, it could be taco meat, it could be chorizo. Marcus asked for chorizo, so that's what I made. Put it in the food processor, your 3 ingredients, and then it made like a paste for me. If it's too thick for you, add a splash of water or a little bit of milk, because you want it to be like nice and dippable. Y'all know what happens with queso. When you let it sit, it kind of congeals a little bit, but it still tastes good. And I think this will heat up really well. And then we just cooked the chorizo on the side and added it in there. I put cilantro on there, and then either salsa or some of your dollar store Rotel or canned tomatoes. And then for your chips, you can do low carb if you want to just do like bell peppers, or some veggies are really good. Gave you all a substitute for tortilla chips. This is from the ground up. They're made with cauliflower, so you can use this. They have the sea salt version. They also have cheddar and other flavors, so giving you all some substitutes for that. Or we made our own. We had tortillas, and I used a cassava tortilla, gluten-free cassava tortilla. All you have to do, grease it up if you want to, a little cooking spray, a little bit of oil on it, and you can use the pizza cutter, or you can use a knife, cut it in half. Cut it in half, you have 4, and then diagonal. 1 tortilla will give you like 8 chips. Put them in the air fryer. I did 400 for like 7 minutes, probably only need 5, but they give you a nice little snap. Oh, it's been in here for a while, and it's still holding up. Come on now, look at that. Why am I salivating? Y'all, we are so greedy. All right, so I'm Maggie the Substitute Teacher. I'm actually traveling next week, so Taylor, I'm gonna miss you all next week. I'm usually with you all Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Make sure you are subscribed to FoodtokTV. You want everything on it, I know, right? Team everything, team greedy. Put it all on there. Extra cilantro. FoodtokTV.com is where you will find the recipe for this and everything else. I know y'all want it. I know you want it. I'm just amazed how well my little struggle chip is holding up. Y'all, portion this out, serve what you want, and then pack it away, because you will finish this bowl without even trying, all right? So you can find me on all social media, and for watching. Yes, yeah, you didn't think about veggies, right, Bria? You can make it completely low carb. You have all the flavor in this queso. Get your carrot sticks, your bell peppers, and go to town. So I will see you all, I guess, in a couple of weeks. If you want to follow up with my travels, I'm going to be everywhere. Stay tuned. I think I might miss the next few, but Taylor, I'll reach out to you again. Let's see, we are at 14,900 likes. Let's see if you can tap on your way out, and I'll end it when we just crossed over 15,000. Y'all read my mind. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the gifts, and I'll see you all on the next one.